Congo, nchi ya mababu zetu. Leo teatri ya mauaji. Nchi yangu mimi, nchi yangu nchi ya Lumumba, Kasavubu, Mobutu na Kabila.
Living conditions in the Congo are currently the worst they've been in the last 20 years, and the situation is deteriorating year by year. Life is getting harder and harder. Accessing healthcare and sending children to school is increasingly difficult. There's no work, and people are at survival level, both in the cities and the countryside. The people in the countryside no longer have surplus produce because the road network is in a terrible state. Without roads, traders are no longer coming to pick up surplus produce. The social repercussions of this interruption in trading are being felt everywhere. Life in the Congo is very hard, which is why changes are needed now.
We're in a district of Kinshasa called Ingaba. It's one of the poorest areas, which is called a housing development. You can see what the socio-economic conditions are like here. The roads are in a terrible state. Power lines trail along the ground. And you can imagine what the schools are like. These are the teeming working-class districts of Kinshasa. People eat one meal a day, if that. There's even a system operating here that's called relieving. This means that parents eat one day and then the children eat the next day. Or the eldest eats and the youngest goes without. That way they relieve each other. The school canteen project will allow each child to eat at least once a day.
Et écoutez la souffrance des chiffres dans le 2e et le 3e millénaire. Les bouches victimes des guerres de libération du Congo. Yoka pasi ya bamushi na 2e et 3e millénaire. Na ebandeli babenga kibiso banyabungo qui signifie benyebungo.
The economic situation in the country was already extremely difficult as a result of the Mobutu dictatorship that lasted 32 years. Mobutu ruled as an autocrat and plundered almost everything he could lay his hands on, amassing a huge personal fortune. I'm almost 50, and I've never seen a new school or a new hospital built by the state in this country. What you can see today in the fields of education, healthcare, and social infrastructure is the work of churches and non-governmental organizations. So, this country has experienced one of the most terrible dictatorships. Mobutu stayed in power for 32 years, and with the support of certain powers within the context of the Cold War, he was able to do whatever he wanted. Even all the development aid granted by the international community and international financial institutions was diverted. the DRC has one of the highest levels of debt in Africa. A figure of 14 billion was mentioned at one point. But if this debt was taken on to develop the country, we would be able to see evidence of it. You don't see any roads and infrastructure as in a totally dilapidated state. It's been like that for ages. So the war exacerbated a situation that was already extremely serious.